Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlama and today I am bringing you a TVP. This is going to be on Shakira's Plateau between oGsVINES, the blue Protoss spawning up in the top left corner, and vileHasHe, the red Terran spawning over in the top right corner. I believe I said top left, top right. Yes, I did. So this is going to be a ladder game between the two Grandmaster players. And I am very, very, very excited. I apologize for not having too much casting done the past week or so. I actually was having some audio issues, things like that. I was trying to get my stream up to 1080p instead of simply 720p. However, whenever I made it 1080p, it just started to kind of have little glitches. But I was unaware of this, so I actually casted like hours and hours of casting. And then when I finally edited all the videos and was starting to like upload them, I listened to one of them and it was like, and I was like, ah, well, crap. So I had to kind of undo all of that, which was no fun at all. So there was a lot of missed casting there in the middle that just simply did not get uploaded. Yeah, so I do apologize for that. However, now I'm finally going to be back into casting, and also it's finals week. So I've been doing, studying for finals and stuff like that. But regardless, I'm going to be back into casting, usually a couple games a day, something like that. Feel free to send me replays, anything of the sort, as I do love to cast good games. And if you see a good game that you want casted, you're watching somebody's stream, if you can somehow get the replay, send it to me, something like that. Or just tell me about it and I'll try and get the replay myself, and that would be awesome. So it looks like we are going to have vileHasHe open with a gas here off of this rack. So a lot of times you will see, especially on Shakira's Plateau with such an easy ramp to hold, you will see some sort of gases expand, something like that. But no, he's going to open with that refinery, and vileHasHe, or oGsVINES, is going to get in and see everything that's going on. So he's just going to run around. He says, okay, I see a gas out of view. And in response, I throw it on my cybernetics core, and we'll have to see what exactly he decides to do, if he's going to go for some sort of one-gate expand off of this, or not. And we do have a second barracks going down here in the back of the base. Did oGsVINES scout that at all? No, he did not. So a 2-racks, it looks like, coming out from vileHasHe right here. He is throwing down the reactor right there. Probably going to get the tech lab down here, I would imagine. And now starting to wall off with these supply depots. So very, very interesting play out of vileHasHe, and it's possible he's just trying to catch his opponent off guard, as a lot of times you will see players go for those fast expands on this map. I know a lot of players do have difficulty holding the 2-racks play right there when their opponent does go for a 1-gate expand, or when holding 1-gate expand when their opponent goes for 2-racks. I apologize for making that little error right there. So yes, the tech lab now going down, and he's going to just start pumping out the Marines and Marauders and hitting up for a nice little timing push here. Fairly short, and we'll have to see if he goes for an expand off that, or if he pulls SCVs and makes us some sort of SCV all in with that. I'm not quite exactly sure. And yes, oGsVINES is just going to go for a 1-gate expand. So we'll have to see how exactly he does hold this. He is going to poke over here with this Stalker and poke up the ramp and see what exactly he can identify from this. And most likely when he comes over here and scouts all these Marines, he should be able to say, okay, I think it's a 2-racks. And hopefully he does not lose the Stalker. No, it looks like the Stalker is going to be able to get away. So run, my little Stalker, run. And yes, he will manage to get away, but I think he saw the reactor. No, he did not even see the reactor, but he saw enough Marines right there to possibly say, okay, I think there has to be a reactor barracks, or at least a second racks there, to be making that many Marines, especially if he saw 7 Marines. That definitely would have helped. So yes, he should continue poking at some point, at least to try and scout this Marauder. However, it looks like he's not even going to have that chance, as vileHasHe now pushing out, and possibly just going to go simply with this one Marauder right here. So yes, he's making this early 2-racks push, it looks like. And will he lose this SCV? Yes, a free SCV does go down, and the Marines now trying to engage the Stalker the best that they can. What is oGsVINES doing in response? He has thrown down the 2 additional gateways. However, they are not quite done yet. what is the name of that? Warp Gate. Holy cow. Warp Gate just now finishes. I was looking at that like I want to call it a gateway, but it's not. Warp Gate does now just finish, so he's going to warp in more Stalkers and try and defend this. However, there is a sizable army there for vileHashe, so oGsVINES is going to have a little bit of difficulty defending this, I would imagine. He's going to have to focus down those Marauders right there, as they do have the Concussive Shell upgraded. And is it possible that he just simply loses this expansion? More Orphans are being made up here. However, he's simply stuck on 5 Stalkers right there, and that is probably not going to be enough. 6 Stalkers. However, the Marines and Marauders doing so much, he's able to focus down the Marauders and kill those off, so that is a huge hit right there for him. That's exactly what he needs to do, as now he can just kite back and forth. However, another Marauder does join the group, so that's going to make this extremely difficult. And will vileHashe be able to kill this expansion? That would be huge. He has morphed in more Zealots over there, and in the meantime, vileHashe is taking an expansion of his own. However, back at this base, it looks like he's just trying to kite the best that he can. And he's doing a pretty good job right here, able to kill off a lot of those Marines. However, more Marines and another Marauder do join up right here, and this could be very tough now for him to hold. 2 more Zealots have warped in. He has to be careful not to lose those Marauders. He does lose 1, so probes being pulled. This is exactly what he has to do. He needs to get out there and needs to kill off all of these units. Some nice little micro going down by vileHashe, but he's going to be losing that Marauder, so now he can just back off with these probes, and a nice save of the Nexus. Only 187 health, so only pulling out exactly when he needed to with those probes, and now he can just pick off a few spare Marines and start pushing out the Stalkers of his own to just kind of scout across the map, see what his opponent exactly does have. And it's possible he'll just stop right there, as he does not really have the best army. 3 Stalkers with 2 very, very weakened on their hull. So in the meantime, a robotics facility going down as well, so now he needs to get that out. He's going to be chrono boosting out an observer, I would imagine, as he wants to see what exactly his opponent is transitioning into, if he has even taken an expander, if he's going for an even bigger one base all in off of this, possibly pooling SCVs. You never really know as oGsVINES right now, and so he's just going to leave a probe out here in the middle of the map. Smart player here to see if there's any sort of all-in push coming out from his opponent, anything like that. And he's also warped in some sentries just in case he needs to have those force fields. So 3 sentries should be good enough to hold this ramp for at least, I'd say, 30-40 seconds, something like that. And they are building up the energy to hold it for a longer amount of time. And in the meantime, we do have drops coming out here from vileHashe, so getting those medvacs to join that army. And there we go, going to send the factory over to scout, as that has just been something that players have been doing for a while now, and it is so smart. And as long as you keep that factory long enough to get an armory down for your +2 upgrades, you should be in a good position. So it looks like drops now loading up for vileHashe, and he is going to start moving out across the map with these. And what is Vines doing in response? He does have an observer finally now out on the map and moving across. However, it is not going to be scouting these drops, as they are going to be missing, so he will simply be scouting the factory, and the drops will be able to get into the back here. And how many probes are going to be killed? As wow, oGsVINES does not have a very big army at all. He is making 3 more gates right now, but I'm not sure he has enough to really deal with this stim also. And is he able to kill this pylon just in time? Is able to get the units out on it over there, and it looks like now vileHashe possibly going to be picking up, or is he just going to simply engage his army? Some nice force fields do go down right there, able to trap a few of the units. Nice drop micro, or pickup micro I should say, by vileHashe, and it's possible that he could simply take out this army right here of oGsVINES, as he does not really have too much to deal with this. There are 3 Marauders still in that, some more Warpins will be able to help this out. However, he's able to kill off all those sentries, able to kill off a lot of those Stalkers, and now going to pick up and get out with those medevacs. So very smart play, and I love using this factory to create a little choke there for the units to have to stream in through for Vines. So lifting up the factory now and moving out, and now Hash can start making his way out across the map. He does have the larger army. This Nexus also extremely weak, so if he can find a way to get in there very, very quickly, and oGsVINES will see this, he could stim up and possibly kill that off. And if he goes for any sort of drops around here in the back, that's what oGsVINES is going to have to be careful of, is if he brings all of his armor to the front there, there could just simply be a drop here in the back with a dropship. And it looks like he may even just fake it here. No, he's just going to have this dropship just join up with the army in here. There's going to be an engagement now at the front. There's only 1 sentry, so only 1 force field can go down. No stim really has been activated on those units, it looks like. There we go, now stimming the units finally, so he's going to start stim microing back against these zealots, but he does not really have all of his army there with him. Half of his army has been left here behind, so now he's finally going to get the stim over there. However, that kind of cost him. He lost a lot of units, however he still does have the army advantage if he do look. 91 to 75. And more units streaming out now. If we look in the income tab, it is even across the board right there. So the mules will boost that mineral income, of course, for vileHasHe, and that will help him out. But yeah, look at that. He definitely has the army supply and simply 6 zealots. If you look in the unit count, 10 marauders, 14 marines versus 6. Okay, I guess 9 zealot, 5 stalker, 1 sentry. That, of course, will favor our Terran player in the army supply as well there. So now he's going to stim up the map as those zealots are out of position. He will be able to catch a lot of this. Charge has finished for those zealots. He's going to now be morphing more zealots in, so they're going to charge ahead as well and start picking that off. But some nice little micro right there going down from vileHasHe, and looks like he's able to start picking off these zealots, kiting them as they do charge, and now are just left to walk. And he's going to be able to pick off a lot of those. However, a lot of medevacs have gone down. I'm not quite sure that oGsVINES will have enough to deal with this, though, as all of these units are just going to continue stimming. They do have the medevacs on top, and there is not much left for oGsVINES here to deal with this army. This army is just going to continue kiting away at these zealots, and oGsVINES is in a very difficult situation. More units right down here that, once again, vileHasHe is not included in his army, but I don't think it even matters. No, it does not. oGsVINES is forced to GG out of the game, so beautifully played there by vileHasHe, able to really do enough damage there with his 2 racks and kill off enough units and delay enough mining time and really probe building time that he was able to get up and expand of his own and just do some nice drops, some nice just engagements right there, and hitting while his opponent really didn't have the army's supply to deal with it. So GG. My name is MrLlama. I hope you guys enjoyed